Your favorite neighborhood pizza place. Everyone goes to Pizza Joe's. This program made possible by a grant from Pizza Joe's. Hello, Butts Flowers and NC TV 45 would like to welcome you to the Canes Victory Parade in downtown Newcastle. NC TV 45 would like to thank Butts, Florists and Gifts for their fine cooperation for this podcast. Remember, when you need that special gift, it's Butts. Keep watching NC TV 45. Gary's Wardrobe, furnished by Main Street Clothiers and Custom Tailors, 210 East Washington Street, Newcastle.
I'm Gary West for NCTV 45, and this is Focus NC with segment 2 of my interview with Rhonda DeFelice, also known as the Good Green Witch. And Rhonda is from the Newcastle area, and she is an environmentalist and an author, and she was also a radio host, and she has a book coming up too, and we talked about that in the first segment. We'll mention that again in segment 3. Rhonda, you know, it's so good talking about these important subjects because it involves not just Newcastle and Lawrence County, but the whole world, the planet. Why is climate change happening, and is it not too late to fix it?
There are a lot of schools of thought on that. Having gone to the presentation in Chicago and learning what I learned, I knew a lot of it already, but learning it in depth was pretty depressing, really. Now, at the end of the presentation, it's hopeful we give solutions. A lot of what we learned that's causing climate change is the use of fossil fuels. It's putting out just way too many greenhouse gases, and that's causing more heat to stay trapped. Now, people said here in Newcastle, of course, we had a very cold, very hard winter. And people say, well, how can you say there's global warming when it was so cold? And it was very cold. But if you think about it, it was a winter like we used to have. The weird part is it's a winter like we used to have because of climate change. And that can be really difficult to understand, but even though we were so cold here in Newcastle, Western PA, the whole rest of the planet was warmer. So you have to kind of think globally, act locally. That's the catchphrase. Australia had record heats. California is suffering 100% drought in the state. So we're lucky here, but we're not the whole world, and it's going to affect us all.
Little stat to pass along. Each year we release almost 30 billion, with a B, billion tons of CO2 into the atmosphere, and that's mainly as a result of the burning fossil fuels that Rhonda just mentioned, like the coal, the oil, natural gas. And the main sectors responsible for fossil fuel consumption and climate-polluting CO2 emissions are energy generation, transport industry, and households. Mm-hmm. Now, the National Climate Assessment just came out this week.
Yeah.
You want to touch on that? Did you read the article or some of the article?
I saw it. I thought it was very interesting. I got word that CNN was covering it quite a bit. And quite honestly, my only thought was, really? Already? Sarcastically. Because those of us who've been kind of in the know, this is not news to us. Unfortunately, it's news to a lot of other people, but this is kind of what we've been trying to say for a long time. It's what Al Gore's been saying since An Inconvenient Truth came out in 2006. Yes. Actually, some of the things that he covered in that movie way back when have come true already. We're actually about 20, maybe 30 years ahead of worst case scenario. That's not good. We're going to have the oceans rising, say goodbye to the coastal cities. I mean, we might have beachfront property here. Buy your homes now. It's just might be a little bit too late for what we call mitigation. It used to be mitigation or adaptation. Do we try to mitigate the effects of what we're doing so we don't have to adapt? Do we do both at the same time? Now we're kind of afraid that it's going to be all about adaptation, that it's too late. Even if we turned off every fossil fuel burning this very second, it's still going to warm. Maybe it'll warm less. We just have to hope.
Now, some of the critics said that this national climate assessment was more politics than science. Would you agree with that?
97% of the scientists out there have said that climate change is happening. If that's not scientific enough, maybe we have to go with a more political touch. But that's another thing we like to say. If you have 100 doctors and 97% of them say, you're going to have a heart attack if you don't do something right now, and 3 of them go, I wouldn't worry about it, who are you going to listen to? The 97 or the 3? I'm going to listen to the 97, but that's just me.
I want to talk a little bit about deforestation. That's the action, in case you don't know, it's the action of the process of clearing of our forests, and its destruction is what it is. So, Rhonda, how much of a problem is deforestation?
It's a giant problem. Trees are naturally cleansing CO2 out of the environment. The ocean is bigger for that, and that's a whole other problem, acidification. We could get into that, but you asked about the deforestation. Trees naturally take in the CO2. When we cut them down, they're not taking it in. They're not releasing the oxygen that we need. It's a very symbiotic relationship with trees. Call me a tree hugger. Yes, I love to hug trees. They're beautiful. They're awesome. We need them. So when you cut them down, you're just destroying the balance.
I was surprised, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I was surprised to hear that we lost nearly 50% of the world's original forests.
Yeah, it's no accident that we're having so many problems because we've just treated the earth with such disregard. We can't continue to use all these resources. It's a limited set of resources that we have here. The coal won't go on forever. The oil won't go on forever. There are finite resources, and we're using them faster than Mother Nature can keep up.
Oceans are another issue, and they're so vast and so big. And, can they really be threatened by human action?
Oh, of course. With the missing Malaysian jetliner, they were searching for it, and a lot of people saw this on the news. And they saw some objects in the ocean, said, ooh, that could be it, only to find it was man-made garbage. Oh, wait, there it is. No, that's just more garbage. Oh, wait. Nope. So we're having a giant effect on it. It's acidifying, and when that happens, the life is just destroyed in the ocean. We can't live if we kill the ocean, and that is really, really in danger of happening right now.
Then there's the problem of too much fishing.
Overfishing. Yes.
Overfishing is the word, right?
We're kind of killing the oceans. I don't want to test that theory of how our life will be if we kill the ocean. Gonna be a little bit too late by that time. Let's stop before we actually kill it.
It's all about cooperation. Let's get all the countries together, right?
That would be nice.
Talking to Rhonda DeFelice, an environmentalist and author, and Let's Keep It Green. And we had so much more to talk about in segment 3.
Try to be less depressing.
Okay. And that wraps up segment 2. We want to thank our sponsors, Main Street Clothiers and Custom Tailors in downtown Newcastle, Butts Flowers and Gifts in downtown Newcastle, and Pizza Joe's, all 4 of their Newcastle locations. So stay tuned for segment 3 right here on NCTV 45.
Gary's Wardrobe, furnished by Main Street Clothiers and Custom Tailors, 210 East Washington Street, Newcastle. Hello, Butts Flowers and NCTV 45 would like to welcome you to the Canes Victory Parade in downtown Newcastle. NCTV 45 would like to thank Butts, Florists and Gifts for their fine cooperation for this podcast. Remember, when you need that special gift, it's Butts. Keep watching NCTV 45. Your favorite neighborhood pizza place. Everyone goes to Pizza Joe's. This program made possible by a grant from Pizza Joe's.